Hello OTF Derby family, my name is Coach Charlie and I'm going to take you through day 2 of our at-home workouts. If you're struggling to get into the studio, then give these workouts a try. You can do it with the kit that you have at home. You don't have to use any weights at all. They're all optional. So day 2, it's all about the legs. So some of the biggest muscles in our body, we're going to give them a treat with a couple of blocks that have 3 leg-focused exercises. We're going to throw a little bit of core in there as well. And then we're going to have a cardio block at the end of the session. Of course, with a little bit of dynamic stretching at the start and that flexibility at the end. So for those blocks, adding a little bit of weight to our leg exercises would be excellent. Look for something in your house that is about 15 pounds or more. No, not the dog. Not Coach Izzy either. Maybe a can of beans or some water will be fine. Have an excellent workout. Tell us how you found it and share your comments on this.
All right, it is time to get started. This workout is going to take you about 30 minutes. We have 5 total blocks, including our warm-up and flexibility, and just a little bit of cardio for you as well. The way that the format's going to work, just like in class, we're going to demonstrate the exercises for you. Then you're going to be able to hit pause and go ahead and execute those exercises on your own. For our warm-up, we're going to start with 2 full rounds of 5 exercises. You ready to get that heart rate up a little bit?
Let's do it.
All right, let's get it started. Nice and easy, we are gonna start with a side-to-side toe tap. So just like John is, he started in that standing set position, slight bend in those knees, and then we're quickly moving side to side, simply tapping the inside toe and then reaching that foot out. Nice big step to the side. You've got 20 total, so 10 in each direction. Our second exercise is going to be our squat with an overhead reach. So making sure we line up those anchors, ear, shoulder, hips stay in alignment as he's sitting into his heels, raising his hands up to the ceiling, keeping that core nice and tight. Think about if you were sitting in a chair. We're gonna do this 10 times. Your next exercise, opening up those hips just a little bit. Find a focal point so that we can work on that balance while we're also opening up those hips. Internal and external rotations. Think about drawing a circle with your knee. So you bend that knee up towards the ceiling, draw that circle to the back. Those are your external rotations. And then for internal, you're simply gonna draw that circle to the inside. We've got 5 one direction, 5 the other direction for 10 total, and then you'll switch to the opposite side. Next exercise will be our static alternating lateral lunge. Static simply means that we're going to keep our feet planted and move side to side. So you're going to shift your weight again into that heel, driving through that outside leg as we come back to that upright position before dropping into that opposite heel. As always, again, that core stays nice and tight. Your option, you can reduce the range of motion or warming up the backside of those legs. We might be doing legs a little bit later. Warm-up wouldn't be complete without jumping jacks. We've got 10 of those, so you're gonna raise those arms overhead. There we go, John. As you jump your feet to the outside, your option here, taking that jump out, step to the side, step back together. Again, you've got 2 full rounds of our 5 exercises, 20, and then 10 reps for the following 4. Let's get started. All right, we are back with another workout. This is block number 1, and as you see, we have the best weight that we're gonna use in the world to add a little bit of a challenge to these exercises. We're gonna have 3 squat variations followed by a plank exercise that you're gonna repeat 3 times. Let's get rolling here. Jess, we're gonna start with a body weight squat, but instead of body weight, we're adding a little bit of more body to this, all right? We've got 2 bodies for this body weight squat. Getting into your standing set position, your feet are gonna be a little bit wider than hip width apart. Keep that chest nice and proud, keep that baby engaged, and then drop down into those heels like you are sitting into that chair. Make sure we do keep that core nice and tight with that big smile on your face. Great job, Jess. Your option, of course, is to reduce your range of motion. Once you get done with 10 of those, we're gonna stay down in that squat, and we are really working that pulsing half squat. So that means the bottom half of that squat range of motion is all you're doing for 10 reps. Then finally, we pause at the bottom. Iso squat hold, and we're gonna lift those heels off the ground into that calf raise. Now, this is a little bit harder balancing right now, so if you need to, feel free to set the baby down. We are gonna switch it up, take it right into our last exercise. I'm gonna borrow the baby from you, right?
Bennett.
Baby Bennett, come right over here. Let's get into that high plank position. We've seen this before. Okay, shoulders are stacked right over top of your wrists. Hips are nice and tight, nice and level with those shoulders, and feet are shoulder width apart. From here, we've got our alternating leg lift. All right, so that means strong and straight legs. Heels come to the ceiling, alternating back and forth. Your option, you can drop one knee to the ground and work one side and then work the other side. 3 full rounds of these exercises, 10, 10, 10, and then 10 total. Let's get to work. We are here with block number 3, your final block in this series. It's going to include 4 exercises, which we're gonna demo for you right now. John, let's get that heart rate revved up just a little bit, all right? We're gonna start with what's called a swing lunge. So to add a little bit of a challenge to this, we've got our paint cans. Make sure that if you are gonna grab 2 objects, they weigh about the same to keep you balanced on either side. Starting in that standing set position, shoulders stacked over hips, over knees, over ankles, feet stay on those railroad tracks, so about hip width apart. We're gonna start by taking a big step forward. Now make sure that knee stays over your ankle, right? And on both legs, we're making that 90-degree angle. What you'll notice is that John is swinging his leg forward into that forward lunge and then simply swinging back into that reverse lunge. That counts as 1 rep. Your option, you can always remove the paint cans or whatever objects you have in your hand, or simply pause in the center before you go forward and then backward. Again, 5 on one side, 5 on the other. Your second exercise is everybody's favorite. We had to add it in here. It is that full burpee. All right, starting at the top of our hot pink towel we have on the ground here.
It's my wife's.
Okay, hey, it adds a little padding. It's all right, all right? So what we're gonna start, standing set position again, hands go to the ground and you shoot those legs out behind you, high plank position. Now it is a full burpee, so that does include that push-up, chest to the floor, pressing back up to high plank, jumping your feet in and jump up. Your option is to remove the jump. We can also bring it down to our knees for that push-up if you need to, or simply remove the push-up and step back in. Exercise number 3, plank Spider-Man. We've already been in that high plank position. Let's get right back into it, right? Shoulders stacked directly over those wrists. Now for this one, you really wanna work the side of your body, so keeping that core nice and tight. We're focusing here, we're driving that knee to the outside of the same elbow, all right? Reset every single time. Your option, you can drop one knee down to the ground, keeping that straight line, but working that one side and then the other. Our final exercise, John, you can just stay right down there on the ground. You're flipping over into a body weight crunch. You know what? Instead of body weight, why don't you grab that coffee right there? We'll add just a little bit more of a challenge. Why not, right? Go ahead and lay all the way back on your back. You're gonna, have your feet shoulder width apart and hold that coffee just like it becomes part of your body. From here, as you exhale, you're gonna raise your shoulders off the ground into that crunch. Really keep that core tight, keeping your shoulders right, or I'm sorry, your shoulders, how about your knees right over top of those ankles, and work through that range of motion. Obviously, we can take that coffee away if that's a little bit too much. It is time to get a little bit of cardio in during this workout. Our goal right now is to keep that heart rate elevated for 5 total minutes. You have a couple different options. We do realize that we're inside your living room right now and you might not have access to be outside. Think about, do I have stairs that I can go run up and then walk down, or walk up and then walk back down for 5 minutes? Maybe it's as simple as chasing your kids around or chasing your dog around the coffee table. You know how much they love to run in those little circles? Or pick an exercise that you do for, say, 30 seconds of work, followed by 30 seconds of rest. It can be as simple as a jump squat in place, especially if we're dealing with a really small space, or maybe it's that broad jump and then a nice little jog back. Whatever works for you in the space that you have, you've got 5 minutes to see if we can get into that orange zone. Let's do it.
All right, we finally made it to our flexibility block. I think you definitely earned it, right, Denise?
My legs are ready to be stretched out.
Love it. So what comes up must come down. We have 3 stretches performing 20 seconds on each side. Our first stretch here is going to be our standing crossbody stretch. So standing up nice and tall in our set position, we're going to extend your right arm so our wrist is directly in alignment with the shoulder. Roll those shoulders down and back, and then with your hand, you're going to cross your arm across your chest, either above or below the elbow, so that we feel that stretch in your shoulder here. 20 seconds on each side. Next one, we're gonna stretch out those burning legs.
Thank you.
So take your right hand with your right foot, bending our knee, bringing our heel towards our glute. We're stretching out the front of those legs, your quads here, pressing our hip forward. You wanna know a fun fact, Denise?
What?
Touch your nose or your ear, and it will help you with balance.
It worked.
Beautiful, nice job. So 20 seconds on each side for that. Our last stretch is going to be our runner's lunge. So we're gonna drop it down to a knee. That back leg is gonna be nice and flat. The knee is directly above the ankle. Hand is gonna be on our hip. From here, we're just gonna slightly press our hip forward, squeezing the glute so we feel it in our hip flexor here. If you want a little bit more of an added stretch, you can actually walk that foot a little bit farther forward, hinge your hip, and plant your hands down to the ground for that little added stretch here. So 20 seconds on each side. Let's get it started.